Call to order the Sellersburg redevelopment. Call to order the Sellersburg Redevelopment Commission, August 4th, 2025, 6 p.m. We have a quorum. Can I get people in attendance, please?
Michael Richardson.
Doug Ryder.
Terry Langford. And we have Todd and Patrick on the phone.
You guys want to go ahead and call to order over the phone?
Right.
Todd, you first.
Yeah, this is Todd Ance. This is Pat Duggan.
And we have Justin Endres and Michelle Metcalf. Okay, we're called to order. We have consent of the minutes.
Yep.
Okay. All right. You all had an opportunity to look over the minutes. Do I have a motion to accept the minutes as written?
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes as written.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Any discussion? All in favor? I need a roll call vote.
Doug, aye.
Michael Richardson, aye.
You guys go.
Todd Ance, aye. Pat Duggan, aye.
And Terry Langford, aye. We have 5-0, Michelle. Moving on to the fund reports. Nick Lawrence with JTL. The Wheatley Group.
Yeah,
The Wheatley
TWG.
Group is presenting the fund reports.
So we're going to start with our TIF fund report. You'll see that that's a single page non-stapled. Note again, the difference between this one and the previous month, we have reported our revenue in from our spring disbursement now. So revenue year to date, $964,814.06, bringing our total current balance in the fund to $2,081,577.06. I also want to, when we go into our next fund report, our appropriation detail report, we'll see the application of the majority of the expenses that we are expecting to be applied to TIF are generally reconciled right now. We have one more item that needs to come out of that, but our fund reports are fairly up to date at this point. So moving over to the multi-page document, you'll see Fund 325, which is seated TIF lawn care and maintenance. There's a current balance that we're showing in that of $9,530. There are several payments that have been approved to J&C for lawn care at Camp Run, as well as some items for the weed management and maintenance from Lawn Cure. The J&C items have not been applied yet to this fund, so I do want to note that something Michelle and I flagged earlier and are chasing down to coordinate with Clerk Treasurer's office. And then we'll get to moving around the weed maintenance from Lawn Cure if we need to, which is currently being applied to our seated professional services.
There also
balance.
was one approved in June that did not get sent out. So,
correct.
I re-signed for it tonight.
Yep.
Does that total out of this one, or do we know?
So that was approved on your previous
Right.
claims register. It has not been applied
Okay.
yet to this. So we will have had tonight on the claims register, you'll note that we'll have application number 3. So 1 is what's reflected in that appropriation currently. 2, we've approved. You had to re-sign a claim for that. 3 will be on the claims register tonight.
Okay.
And then on page 3, you'll see the appropriation detail related to RDC professional services. With the current balance on page 4, that seated fund currently has $23,491.64. Noting that there are some items that have been applied to that appropriation that do not reflect how they were approved within the claims register. So we're watching this total as we get closer to the end of the year to see whether or not we need to make some corrections to that or whether or not we can continue just apply those to that professional services budget. On page 5, we'll have 2 funds there. One is the appropriation for the bot payments for P&I for the road. Note that both of those have been paid for the year, so our next payment will be in January of 26 for that bond. And then you'll note again in the TIF expenses, that's our appropriation for the current year, which was set at $1 million. We currently have a balance of $671,078.49 in that appropriation. We have approved to that some of our retainer, which is not reflected, that's currently in seated, so we can have that moved if need be. We also have a previously approved expense related to the JTL facility assessment that's not been applied to that appropriation yet.
What was that amount?
30,000 on that one. Any questions regarding fund reports, expenses, appropriations?
No questions. We'll move forward to the approval of claims.
I just want to add too, is we're getting to this point of the year too, and we're prepping for the end of the year, and we'll have to put a spending plan together. We are at the precipice of our bond issuance. We're actively reconciling our own records to be able to put that budget together and project out, which will help us in doing some of that project management as well. So before you use the claims register, fairly light this month. Again, our partial retainer for the TIF fund 450, 432 includes retainer amounts for legal services as well as consulting services, and then the camper and traffic signal. Note that the majority of these are pre-written claims that have already been and appeared on the fund reports. And then finally, J&C Lawn and Landscape for $1,750 and for July mowing, and then Lawn Cure application number 3 for $470 and our seeded mowing fund for 325. Again, I'd like to continue approving them in this manner. That way, if we need to go back and make adjustments, we can make adjustments to those funds appropriately.
Is there any amendments to this whatsoever?
I don't have any. This is
Okay.
up to date.
Can I get a motion to approve the Sellersburg Redevelopment Commission claims register as written for August 4th, 2025?
So moved.
I have a motion by Doug.
I'll second.
I have a second by Michael. Any further discussion?
Do you guys want to on the phone? Todd?
Yeah, no discussion for me.
Okay.
None for me either, Nick. I'm good. Thank you, guys.
Okay. So we've got a
Roll call vote.
roll call vote.
Doug Ryder, aye.
Michael Richardson, aye.
Todd?
Todd Ants, aye.
Pat?
Pat Duggins, aye.
Terry Langford, aye. So we have 5-0. Do you have a hard copy, Michelle, or you want us to sign this one? You do?
Oh, no, I'm sorry.
This one's okay? This one
Well,
okay like this?
Yeah, we'll need to sign that one.
Mhm. Okay, moving forward, we have no new old business. However, I would like to say that the construction on Wawa has resumed. They fenced off the area and brought in an equipment trailer, and there is some movement up there again, so that's underway. We have nothing under new business. So project updates from the Wheatley Group. The bond schedule update.
So right now we are slated, I believe, to close on August 20th for our bonds and to receive proceeds from that. Again, those will be handled by a trustee that will hold those bond proceeds, and then we'll have a pay application process applied for when those proceeds need to be expended and spent. I have a packet from Baker Tilly before you that was included in your packets, giving more details on the bond and the terms for that. The ultimate purchaser of that was privately placed with Regions Bank, and so they are they'll be the one purchasing the bond. Stiefel privately placed with them.
They're Indianapolis, correct?
Regions, they're kind of all over.
The emails.
Yeah, the emails out of Indy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
said Indianapolis.
yeah, but they're a national bank.
Mm-hmm.
Note the total project costs for the bonds were $8,645,000 to receive our $8.4 million in proceeds. One of the items that I'd like to note that you do not see on that any longer is a debt service reserve, which was eliminated during the placement process, which provides substantial savings both in the total borrowing amount as well as something that we don't have to amortize over the life of the bond. So there's some substantial savings that came out through that private placement route, and we were able to get that negotiated out, as well as a very competitive interest rate. You'll see on page 3, you'll see a draft amortization schedule for the bonds. Note the 4.33% interest rate that we were able to achieve with that. When we initially did the draft underwriting for these, we were looking at 6%. So we were able to realize some additional interest savings there overall. Then on page 4, note the year-over-year debt service that is required from TIF for both the current lease rental, or for the current BOT, as well as the new lease rental bond. So note again, the coverage has actually been bumped to averaging between 154 and 155%, which is above the 140 that we were projecting at our last draft of this. So all in all, between the interest rate savings and the elimination of the debt service reserve requirement, we were able to achieve a much more efficient bond without additional fees and costs in them. We have achieved greater coverage. And you can see the estimated tax increment remaining year by year, somewhere between 530,000 to almost 700,000 based on current TIF projections. That's based on what we have in the TIF right now. That doesn't show any additional growth. So we may be able to actually create some additional coverage, be able to do some things with cash on hand. Certainly we'll have between $500,000 and $600,000 coming in net of debt service, as well as having $2 million in cash that we have right now. So we can still be thinking about doing capital projects, sidewalk improvements, utility improvements, land acquisition. These sorts of things are things that can be done out of cash, out of pocket, and need to be thought about moving forward, as we have, again, a significant amount, certainly, that we have to cover through the debt issuances, but we still have coverage and money to play with, and cash in our fund right now too. So we're in a pretty good spot, and particularly from where we were 5 years ago. So we've come a long way in a short period of time. So I'm really pleased with how all this worked out. We're circulating final legal documents now, preparing for our closing. And so we should have funds in trustees' hands before the end of the month. At that point, we'll have to reconcile against any reimbursement that would need to occur for costs that were incurred for the Ivy Tech wastewater project. That project will then get moving in more order, close that out. Concurrently, we could even go through the procurement pathways for the Camp Run component and run that alongside. So, I see no reason why, by end of the year, we couldn't potentially have somebody procured and under contract to begin that work on that project. Just kind of
All
from
good news.
Yeah, all good news from my position. I'm due to have a follow-up meeting with the folks at JTL and with Charlie as well to do kind of a progress update, and then put together a schedule and plan of action in motion to be able to move forward with procurement for the sewer for Camp Run. Any questions on this? I know we've been kind of a hands-off process outside of a commitment to it, but
There's a lot of emails involved in this.
there are a lot of emails involved in pulling this off, but and it was obviously a little bit longer than we anticipated. Probably about 3 months longer than we really originally had wanted, but at the end of the day, I think the outcome bears the work.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that interest rate alone, it should be helpful.
Yeah, it's outstanding. Outstanding. Yeah. They're not finalized.
I can come down to your office if I need to, or we can meet somewhere. Right.
Previously, we've done signing parties if we needed multiple folks, and we'd just come by and have those. But
There's only a few documents that I anticipate, but Patrick is the secretary. of the president.
Correct.
Both of you need to sign a few documents.
So when is Patrick due
I'm
back?
available to sign electronically. Michelle, if you can get me a PDF or something, I can sign, electronically if I need to. Or I'll be back Friday. I could meet up with Nick. We see each other at the park all the time with our kids. So,
We should
whatever works for everybody.
I imagine the bond council would prefer electronic signatures. I've actually not had any bond documents signed. I've had plenty of documents signed electronic signatures.
I've never had bond documents
I've
before.
never had bond documents signed that way. I could ask if we really need to, but if you're available Friday, something we'll find you.
We will track you down,
I
Patrick.
won't be back in town till almost midnight Friday.
Well, how about
So it would be Saturday at the earliest.
About Monday.
Yeah, for sure. But like I said, Nick, I'd be happy to meet up with you Saturday. I guess it wouldn't matter at that point, though, would it? Nothing would happen until Monday anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. I apologize.
No, you're okay.
Yeah, I think we have plenty of time. Usually there's a little bit of short time.
Yeah, we'll get pressed into action, and then have to kind of track everybody down pretty quickly. So just be prepared.
Yeah, like that. You know where to find me.
Yep, I do. Yes, sir.
Now, all you need is the president and the secretary's signatures, correct?
That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I can show you, Gary, if you want this, few documents you would sign.
Right.
You probably received them a couple times.
Yeah, I have. Okay, moving forward with the Apple Leaf Signal update.
The only thing I have to report is we've had all the documents signed. We had all the documents approved. The economic development agreement amendment that we had with with Hutton for the pre-funded utility fee account, that's been executed by all parties. The signal agreement, we got the updated signature page, that's been executed. That's been turned into NDOT. I've reached out to NDOT and asked them if there's anything more required of the Redevelopment Commission or the town that we need to do to so they can issue the permit to Hutton. I've not heard back yet. I know the Hutton folks have reached out as well. So we'll continue to stay on top of that. But like you said, Terry, appears to be things are moving forward.
Right.
I don't see any reason there would be an additional holdup, and we can just get that thing going and moving.
Awesome. Do you have anything under other?
I don't think I do, unless anybody wants to talk about something else. I know, again, the main things have been the bond. We'll start working towards procurement side of things. Again, Hutton's squared away, and if something else comes up between now and the next meeting, I'll let y'all know.
Okay. Awesome. All right, let's move forward. No one from JTL is here tonight.
I can report on
You can
that.
report. All right.
Yeah, I'll be Josh for the evening.
We need a Greenwood sewer update, a camp run lighting update, and then an other.
Okay. Let me find the email. Okay, so on the Greenwood sewer, he states the contractor has completed the punch list item. So I know that's what we were waiting for to receive our final bill. He said final billing is all that remains. So we'll have some there and probably some inspection from JTL that we'll still have yet to pay. That'll all come out of TIF. And then camp run lighting, the draft environmental documents have been submitted to NDOT for review and approval. So those are his two updates on those projects.
Anybody else have any questions for
I mean, we can ask Josh
Nick
whatever we
Lawrence,
want.
who is representing JTL tonight?
Yeah. What else we want him to say or do?
All right, let's move on. Town manager Charlie Smith, do you have anything for tonight?
The only thing I have is an amendment to your all's landscaping stuff on Camp Run. This is related to the trees. Been down here from American Way anytime here in recent past. Those trees are starting to be overgrown, fuzzy, and overhanging, and a lot of suckers on there. So I did ask JNC Landscape, get your current contract over the mowing, price that separately. It's not been a contract, anybody was $975 to do that. So I would ask the Redevelopment Commission for amendment to update the contract for the $975 to go through take care of the trees that are over there.
So if we approve this tonight, can it be on next month's?
Yeah, we'll need to.
Next month's claim register.
Yeah, we'll need to do. We need.
Right.
Yeah. Do we want to?
You need us to approve it tonight, or would you like us to approve it tonight? Okay.
Justin, we don't need anything for a contract amendment or engagement of this nature for this amendment. Okay. Yeah. It's with the town.
Correct.
On 75.
I'll make a motion to approve the work and to have it included on the next claims register.
I have a motion by Michael to approve a $975 amendment to the JNC landscaping camp run to take care of the issues with the camp run and American Way trees. Do I have a second?
I second it.
Any further discussion? Need a roll call vote, please.
Doug Ryder, aye.
Michael Richardson, aye.
Todd.
Todd Amps, aye. Pat Duggins, aye.
And Terry Langford, aye. To 5-0, Michelle.
Charlie, I don't know if we want to. I mean, maybe we establish a committee to talk about the school project and just to.
Doug, I know you volunteered on the committee, Doug, you as well. Whenever you all have some time, I'd like to get that meeting on the books for the three of us to sit down and figure out the open house situation over there. Sooner the better, so if you all can consider, email me some time to get it.
It'd have to be next week.
Yeah, I'll let you know what I got next week, though. I should have some time in the afternoon.
I can circulate an email just amongst us and
Okay.
get it going.
That'll work.
Okay.
Okay. Does Todd Ants have anything to add tonight?
Todd, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, nothing for me to add.
Patrick?
I'm good. Thank you.
Michael?
Nothing for me.
Doug?
I'm good.
Justin? Michelle? Brad?
I'd just like to say, hey, I appreciate your all desires to do what we like to do here at the whole, getting this bond and everything in place. And this just goes to show how the TIP works and how it works. It's a great process. And, now we got, I asked Charlie about make sure that we did give some of our local bankers an opportunity, to do the payment of the $8.5 million proposed rate, and all of them declined. And so, you did out to regions, a big banking system, and we did for 23% was a blessing. So, I commend each and every one of y'all for hanging in there with us and do this. And I hope that at the end of the day, these landowners as well as the community as a whole understands that this is a great value for our community. And I know Josh said that he's going to be a write-up coming back on from a couple years ago about our campground area and how the town is growing. And I'm so proud to say it's great to have some good board members that have a desire and have a trust in the system moving forward with something like this. And it just goes to show that a little bit of hard work goes a long way. So, like I said, I know from the legal group to Justin, to the board itself, and to Todd, and I just up there in Indianapolis, and it's just great to have everybody here to work together.
Brad, I think we all have the same vision. One thing I want to add, we had a project sign made that we had on site at the Greenwood Road project.
Mhm.
I believe that sign is at the sewer facility, wastewater facility. Is that right? Can we get that updated when this project is approved and have it put on site?
Yeah, absolutely.
Just so people know what
Yeah.
they'll be familiar with what's going on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is there a process for that, Charlie, or who would actually do that? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yep. We'll just get it rewrapped or a new one. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very sturdy sign that was built.
Yeah.
It just needs a wrap on it.
Yeah.
That's all it needs.
I think we can include that as part of the
Okay.
overall process.
Can you make sure that gets?
Yeah,
gets
absolutely.
added? Okay. That's all I have. Our next meeting will be September 2nd.
That's a Tuesday.
Yeah.
This is how we've got it set up now. Mhm.
Yeah. So it'll be Tuesday, September 2nd.
If something changes again between now and then, or folks have travel, I'll reach out to everyone again and confirm. But if we need to change it, we can change it certainly. But
Right.
that we can run that right down to the meeting time if we need
Right.
to.
Okay. Can I get a motion for adjournment?
Make that motion.
I have
I'll
a
second.
motion. I have a motion by Doug and a second by Michael. All in favor? No, we got to do a roll call vote on this as well. All in favor, say aye.
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 Right.
Thank y'all.
Thank you. Thanks for taking time to call in, guys.
I was going to say that might be a record, but I do remember one.